Hello, kings and queens, and welcome to Fly Nubian Queen TV. I'm Stephanie Rivers, and trying to make sure my lighting is good. Come on in. You're watching Fly Nubian Queen TV, and I hope you all are staying Rona free while you are self quarantining at the house, getting some things done, cleaning up, making sure that you're not sitting in the midst of the coronavirus. Get up and clean up and get some fresh air running through your house. I live in Texas, and so it was a beautiful day, and I was able to open the windows and get some fresh air. And I've been cleaning up, getting some work done throughout the house. So, welcome, welcome. I have received my Fly Nubian Queen package. So I am wearing my Melanin Masterpiece t-shirt. And I've got some more that I'm going to start wearing. So as you are settling in, if you haven't already done so, text to 31996 so that you can receive notifications when we post new videos. That's 31996. And if you like this video, if you like the other videos from the other queens, then go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. And we thank you for your support. Again, my delivery of my Fly Nubian Queen merchandise has arrived, so I'm going to be wearing that during my blogs. And if you get a chance, we want you to go shopping too. Go to shopfnq.com. That's shop Fly Nubian Queen, shopfnq.com. So if you're one of the 3.2 million Americans who applied for unemployment benefits last week because you lost your job, because you're considered to be working a non-essential job, then we're sorry to hear that. Our thoughts are with you. And your employers must have been forced to shut down because so many more people have to stay home because we're trying to fight this spread of the coronavirus. So they forced a lot of non-essential businesses to shut down. And if you're one of those people, we understand that you might be not in the best situation right now, but I always try to look for opportunities in the midst of confusion. So this might be an opportunity for you to take some classes, read that book that you've been wanting to read, spend time with your children, redefine what your relationship is with your loved one, your significant other, because a lot of us, we're so busy doing other things and working and running around, and we just haven't had time to connect with our families and our children. So spending time with your children and just spending time with yourself, getting your spiritual growth together. That's what I do now. It's one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning is I become spiritually grounded, spend time reading, just so when I do step out the door, when I do engage someone else, it's from a positive peace of mind within myself. So no matter what energy they come with, I've got the right energy going on inside of me. So this might be an opportunity for you to do that as well. So also, there's good news that the deadline to file your tax returns has been pushed back to July 15th instead of the normal April 15th deadline. So this gives you a little more time. But here's the thing. If you're sitting at home without a job, you might want to go ahead and file your taxes now. Just because they give you an extra 2 months doesn't mean you need to take an extra 2 months. Especially if you need the money and you're getting a refund, go ahead and file your taxes. I filed my taxes just yesterday, as a matter of fact. So I'm looking forward to getting a refund. And also, Congress has approved that stimulus package that's supposed to put an extra $1,200 in the pockets of most Americans. So if your adjusted gross income is less than $75,000 a year, then that's based off of your 2018 taxes, or if you've already filed for this year, your 2019 taxes, then you should be getting a $1,200 check in a direct deposit, as a matter of fact. So however, whatever bank account you gave them to deposit your previous tax returns, they're going to use that. That's what they said now, to give you your $1,200 stimulus check. So of course, be mindful, be studious, be smart with that $1,200. Don't go out and spend it on something and you're right back in the same situation this time next month. You still ain't got no money, or 2 months from now, you still looking for some money. So have some plans, some positive return on your investment plans that you are looking to do with that stimulus money. And also, the stimulus check that you're going to get is not taxable, because essentially they have the money at the federal government level because they got it from taxes. So for them to tax you on it again will be double taxation. And that's not something that they're going to do. So that's good. You're going to get $1,200 non-taxable. And if you live in the Dallas, Texas area and you feel as if you are in need of a coronavirus test, they have started to do tests at Parkland Hospital in the North Dallas area. So I would suggest, if you know anybody, let me know if you know anybody who lives in the Dallas area. And as you come into the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. What's your name and where you're viewing from? I see Laverne in Nashville, and Karen in Knoxville, Sam in Baltimore. So thanks, and come on in. I know it's a little late. Some of you, especially on the East Coast, you might be asleep, but hey, information, applied knowledge is important. So anytime I can give it to you, when it hits me is when I'm going to do that. So going back to the Parkland Hospital drive-up coronavirus testing, if you know anybody, have them to call 214-590-8000. 214-590-8000. So I'm going to go in here and try to type that in. Let's say, so if you know anybody who could use that test, you go ahead and have them to call, or just go to the website. Now the catch is that you have to already have been a client or have business at Parkland Hospital. In other words, of all the clinics that they have in the hospital, you have to have been affiliated with the hospital already in order for them to test you. So although I don't think I need a test, if I did need a test, I would be unable to go there. I would just have to go to my doctor, and then they would in some way they would affiliate me, or they would refer me to Parkland Hospital. So I'm not affiliated with Parkland Hospital, but I am affiliated with a hospital nearby. But if you are like me and you probably have gotten a notice from your doctor asking you to cancel your appointment that you might have had in the coming weeks to beyond June. Although I'm not a client at Parkland, the hospital where I go, it is nearby, and I got a call from my doctor, and all the hospitals around the country as essentially are swamped with COVID-19 patients. They're running out of protective masks. They're running out of protective gear. They're running out of beds. They're running out of respirators for all the people who need all of these things. So they don't have enough respirators because of all the chaos. They have the new directives that say unless you're coming to the hospital for a COVID-19 related issue, that you are not allowed to come to the hospital at all. And so my doctor contacted me the other day and asked me to reschedule my annual wellness checkup. Normally I do that in the April area. Now they want me to push it all the way back to June. Now, understandably, that COVID-19 medical issues have taken precedence over all non-essential doctors' visits. I even had a dentist appointment that I've had to reschedule because of this very same thing. Some of you probably are in the same situation as me. You take good care of yourself, you take vitamins, you exercise, and you try to get your preventative maintenance doctor's visits out of the way. But because you work in a sector that is considered to be essential, like me, I work in the transportation industry. They consider that as essential. So thank God I still have a job with insurance. You still have a job with insurance. But here's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen in June. If stuff keeps happening like it's happening now, I might not have a job in June, which means I'm not going to have insurance in June. So if I get laid off before June, I won't have insurance. Now, if you're lucky to have a job in June that pays you, has insurance benefits, then you're going to have to jockey for all the other tens of thousands of people who also have been asked to reschedule in June, and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. So nobody really is considering that. It's like we failed to plan. So basically we plan to fail. You know that saying? If you don't plan to fail, if you don't plan to fail, you know what I'm saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Essentially, that's what's going on right now, because it's like we're living day by day where, things that could have been taken care of, things that plans that could have been put in place so we could prevent from being here right now is essentially falling apart because nobody thought we'd be here right now. Well, that's why it's important for us to plan. So is it just me, or do you also feel some resentment for having to change your plans to accommodate people who never seem to give a damn about you until they need you to consider their situation? If it was on the other foot and I needed, or the Black community needed, or we needed some special consideration, like most of the time we do, because for 435 years, we have been in second place, in third place, in fourth place behind white people, Hispanics, and Asians. Now when most of Europeans are in a situation where they need somebody to help them and consider them, now all of a sudden they want to play kumbaya and want everybody to join hands and join forces and let's do this thing together because we all Americans. That's just, I know it sounds selfish, but I just feel a little resentful that you don't give a damn about me all the other times, and you always are. Now you want to tout personal sacrifice and community togetherness when it suits you, but all the other times white people are mostly divisive, mostly dismissive, and they never sacrifice anything for anybody until it suits them. And have you ever noticed that some white people never consider any alternative viewpoint? They think that their viewpoint is the viewpoint. I don't know if you saw that interview with Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick from Texas. He was interviewing on Fox News, and he essentially thinks that all senior citizens would be willing to put their lives on the line and their health on the line so we could go back to work in exchange to save the economy. Yeah, he basically said that. And so I'm going to play that for you because I don't know if you've seen this interview. It was just about 2 days ago. Let's see. Listen here.
Check out what he said on Fox News last night. Let's take a look.
My message is that let's get back to work. Let's get back to living. Let's be smart about it. And those of us who are 70 plus, we'll take care of ourselves, but don't sacrifice the country.
So essentially, what he's saying is that he's willing to sacrifice his life in exchange for the economy being better. That's essentially what he's saying. He's saying that old people should be willing to sacrifice their lives for the greater good, which is the stock market. What he's saying is he values money over the lives of his grandchildren and your grandchildren and you basically by having businesses to reopen sooner rather than later. Only in America and only a white man would assume that his feelings represent the feelings of every person, and that America is a place that every person considers to be the best that it has to offer. So I would say, if you ask my mother, does she think America is the best that it could be? She might beg to differ. If you ask a family friend of mine, he's 81 and lives in Baltimore, if he thinks that senior citizens would agree to give up their lives in exchange for us to just go ahead and do business as usual. And so what if I have a compromised immune system and I might die? But go ahead, y'all, going back to work. I don't think that he took a poll. He's just talking off the top of his head because he's feeling pressure. Historically, the most value that white people place on the lives of Black people is for the labor that we provide as a collective. When it comes to benefits or when it comes to health care or other humane considerations, most white people don't consider us as equals. That's why they never want to address reparations. That's why most every federal set aside that has been put in place to help African Americans get equal consideration for jobs and for college enrollment, college acceptance, and for housing. Most white people are against that. Why? Because they don't value us as people, but they only value our labor and they value us as property. Historically, that's what's going on. And that's why people say things like Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said. That's why when the labor that we provide is removed from the equation, and the profits fall and the stock market values tumble, people like that governor, lieutenant governor, and people like President Trump, they start rationalizing, why should we abandon what makes sense for the good of all people? And they start focusing on what makes sense for the few. They start getting phone calls from their friends saying, hey, we can't continue to stay closed like this. We need to just go ahead and open up and take our chances. They never really consider maybe they have senior citizens in their family that might be the first to go. They don't think about that. They just consider the bottom line is that they're losing money, and so they're ready to throw caution to the wind. They're willing to throw the plan. You got a plan. Let's work the plan. Even if in the midst of the plan, that's why you have a plan, because in the midst of the plan, some things emotionally get foggy And that's like when you're in the middle of a workout routine. Sometimes your legs start feeling like jelly, and you can't run no more, you can't jump anymore, and you're out of breath. But you already said this is what you were going to do when you went to the gym. You already said this is how I'm going to invest my money with every paycheck. But when you get that paycheck, and then you start thinking about all the stuff you could buy when you get to the gym, and you start thinking about how tiring it is, and how good it would feel if you stopped right now. Or maybe I just won't even go to the gym. I'll just sit here with my clean hands on the couch and won't even like exercise at all. And then in the end, you realize, okay, I messed up the plan. So we're in the middle of a plan. And when the white people start thinking about the labor that they're losing, the stock market value that they're losing, the profits that they're losing, they lose their mind. So what you're hearing is white people losing their mind right now. So when people who never have cared about you to begin with start to talk about, start showing you some concern, you should be concerned. You should ask yourself, why do they love me so much? It's probably not because they actually love the person you are. It's because they love what you bring to their bottom line. So stop being somebody else's bottom line. Stop being somebody else's bottom bitch, basically. Stop it. Learn to love yourself and to build something for yourself. Have a plan and work your plan, and let them other fools work it out. All right. So that's it. I just want to remind you to go to 31996 for notifications, like this video and pass it on. And we'll see you the next time. And you stay blessed and stay corona free.